Good morning, family. Welcome to Executing My Ex's Ministries, Thankful Thursdays with your host, which is myself, Ashley D. As always, I am thankful and elated that you decided to tune in with me on this beautiful morning as I continue to talk about worship. And to just go ahead and dive into today's segment, I want to say that I am thankful for the weight of my worship. And what I mean is, if we can be honest just for a brief moment, sometimes we kind of withhold or, limit our worship when we're inside the sanctuary because we're worried about being judged, wondering if somebody is looking at us, wondering if somebody is judging us based off of our worship. But today, I want to encourage you to give it all to God. One thing I love about the weight of my worship is that it reminds me, number one, that I was created to worship. We always quote Psalm 100, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands, serve the Lord with gladness, come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he who had made us and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name, for the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting and his truth endures to all generations. We have no problem quoting that scripture, or I will bless the Lord at all times and his praises shall continually be in my mouth. We have no problem quoting these scriptures, but not realizing that we were created to serve. We were created to worship him and worship him in spirit and in truth. So today I want to encourage you to be thankful for the weight of your worship. Number one, because you were created to worship. Number two, it shows how much you are grateful and thankful for the goodness and mercy of God. God has been so kind. He has been so merciful. He has been so gracious. He's been so loving, so faithful. He's been so loyal to us. And we have every reason to be thankful unto him. So do not worry about what someone else is going to say about your worship. Do not worry about being judged, because number one, you were created to worship, and God has done too much for us to not worship him. We've been through hell and back. If we can be honest, we have been through so much in our lives, but yet God has been good. Yet God has been faithful. Yet God continues to cover us and keep us in the midst of it all. So we ought to worship him. And the last reason why I am thankful for the weight of my worship, because even though I'm going through trials and tribulations, it's a reminder that the devil is really on my pathway because he is afraid of what God has put on the inside of me. He is afraid of the gifts and the talents that God has planted inside of me to birth out to the nations, to birth out, to change not only my life, but someone else's life, to change the lives of everyone connected to me. So that lets me know that if he's on my path every day trying to knock me off my game, that means he's afraid of me opening up my mouth. He's afraid of me worshiping God. He is afraid of me making a sound, so I am grateful and thankful for the weight of my worship. Regardless of what I am going through, I am grateful and thankful. Number one, because I was created to worship him. Number two, God just has done too much for me to sit down and be quiet and not worship his name. He has been too good to God for me to sit down on him. And number three, it just lets me know that the devil is afraid, and I want him to continue to run away from me. Continue to know that when I open my mouth, when I make a sound and let God know how great and how amazing and how awesome he is, and that I'm willing to say yes, and I'm willing to birth out what he has planted on the inside of me, I want him to run scared, because there is so much that God has promised me in this season, and I'm looking forward for seeing those promises of God. So today, I encourage you to be thankful. Be thankful for the weight of your worship. Never limit it. Never throw it away. Never be afraid of opening your mouth, because God has been too good. He's been too kind. He's been too faithful. And there's so much more that he wants to show you in this season. So I hope something was said to encourage you on this beautiful Thursday morning. Thank you so much for tuning in to Executing My Ex's Ministries, Thankful Thursdays with your host, which is myself, Ashley D. I love you with the love of Christ, and be thankful for the weight of your worship. God bless you.